Me blood clot.
What is this? Alright, and wait a moment and try again for your life.
Me blood clot.
Yeah, one of them. Kells, what going, big man?
It's good.
Welcome to another episode of Where I Set, featuring.
Padrino.
Say it again.
Yeah, go ahead, Padrino. Introduce yourself.
Yo, featuring Padrino. Yeah, Z.
Bless, man. What's good, guys?
What going, big man? Hey, that one.
Man, I'm, on the regular 24/7 grind, man. That's about it. Just walked in the house, from all day. Now we doing this. Probably gonna walk back out the house, do some more shit,
All right. Manners and respect. Welcome.
Man, look fresh, man.
Yeah, I don't wanna I gotta make sure, I gotta make sure I step out properly, man. It's nice to meet y'all boys, you know what I'm saying? Look forward to, this conversation,
Most definitely, man. This is the purpose of the podcast still, is it?
Right.
It's to put a face on the artists them and the elevation of the culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like culture is not only robbed, but it is not as grand as it's supposed to be.
As it should be.
You know what I mean? I say because out of reggae and come everything, but nobody don't look on dancehall and reggae the way they're supposed to look on reggae. So that's the purpose of this podcast. It's a message.
Sure.
So they are vibe out to your tune, big man. I'm not telling a lie. Like the man sound proper virgin. But the first question I have here is
right.
Who them compare you to? Because you have a unique.
Well, let me start by saying the artist that I am usually compared to is an artist I used to write and produce for. So my style of singing and doing music has always been this way. When me and the person that you're speaking of got together, it only worked even better. But Cure would be who I would be, compared to majority of the times. But, all respect to him, you know what I'm saying? Great singer, great entertainer. But, I still have my own vibes, which is what I'm a great singer, own vibes,
All right, so, wait. Stick up in.
Right.
How did you start it off in the music business? Let's start from there first.
I went to college in North Carolina many years ago, and I've always been a person that fooled around with DJing and stuff like that when I was a kid. I had a friend that had turntables and stuff, so music has always kind of been around me, but I didn't get fully involved into it until my college days. When I started, dibbling and dabbling in the streets, I had a homeboy that owned the studio, that I would go by all the time, and I just got trapped into it. You know what I'm saying? I loved the process, and I started to go over there so much. One of the engineers didn't come to work one day, and me and my homeboy who owned the studio had a bet, that I couldn't turn the system on. It's kind of been gone since, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've been doing this for some time now. But that's more or less as a producer and an engineer. So my experience and my background is in production and engineering. And then the songwriting part of it all came as a part of, my development and me working with artists from all over the world. That kind of helped me home in on my craft. Yeah.
Okay.
And from how you transcended from there to where you are now?
Well, so my first big break was I started mostly writing in R&B, right? And hip hop because I produced for a lot of hip hop and R&B artists when I lived in Charlotte. And then my first big break would have been with the group Blackstreet, Mark Middleton, um, and Teddy Riley and those guys. I got my first major chance with those guys, writing for Mark Middleton and producing for him. So that kind of led me into knowing, I could write a song. You know what I mean? Was being trusted by those guys um, to write melodies and to write lyrics, and it kind of just fell out the sky. To be honest, man, like I didn't know I would have a thing for this. You know what I mean? I didn't know, and like I said, I really put in the work, and I worked on my craft like for certain. Um, you know, tons and tons and tons and tons of hours I've put into this. And I started to write a lot of hooks for my hip hop artists. And they started to say to me, like, damn, bro, like, you could actually do this yourself. You know what I mean? Um, and, reggae didn't come until years later. But
Shout outs to Raquel. All right, wait. I just want to interject real quick, so I don't forget what I'm about to say because it look like me get old and me get Alzheimer's.
yeah.
Come to the
So,
man.
real quick.
Yeah.
So you're right for a lot of these artists, but Germs mentioned in a beginning, we don't get our proper accolades for our work that we do, and it doesn't matter if you're Jamaican, but just from as long as you come from the ABC island, then
Right.
you're a Caribbean
Right.
person,
Yeah.
and you're Bahamian, right?
Yes. Correct.
I'm expensive over there, see. Soon get to that also,
Right.
but yeah, you write from all these guys. You help them with their work. You probably pen a thing or two, but I've never heard about you before until a few days ago.
Right.
These people always take our stuff, you know what I'm saying, and they use it for their benefit,
Right.
and you never hear about the people that's behind the scene.
Well, it's rather unfortunate, but I in a way, I feel like this is why I'm here now, because I had to take a step from behind the boards. You know what I'm saying? In order to be heard, and it was me taking that chance, that opportunity. Though the artists that I have worked with, not all of them, but some of them have mentioned me to other people, and reposted my work and stuff like that. But some don't. Many of them don't. But I honestly feel like sometimes there's a bit of fear in or threatening, situations where artists might feel like, you know, you might be as talented, and you might take some bread out of that table, which the table is big enough, the pie is big enough, but not everybody is willing to share that pie, you know. Um, and that's just the business, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't sit down and cry about spilled milk. I had to get up and do what I had to do for myself, but it took me some time to get from behind that, to build the confidence for myself to get to that stage. But you're right. There's not a lot of artists that put on the people that really help them get there. You know what I'm saying? Or give the bridge. You know what I'm saying, to get to the next level.
And the thing too, it's not like I'm listening to your music and you have a vibe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you knew who I was gonna say you sound like before you even, and you mentioned that you write for this artist.
I have,
right? And this artist it has ballooned so far. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the way they mention or fail to mention you guys is not a good balance. Like you said, the table is big enough. Right. But it's the insecurities of most of these artists is why most artists don't elevate.
Yeah.
But every man have their lane.
True. But I had to pave my own. You know what I'm saying? Like, the good thing is I'm actually glad it didn't happen where, it came off of his shoulders. And let me explain why. One, I'm already being compared to him as is. Right? Two, I feel like it's better for the artist itself to earn his own, way into this business. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I've went through that, the hills and valleys. I've done all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's important that I didn't do that off the strength or off the back of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You guys found out about me through word of mouth.
Raquel, shout outs to her.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And through Raquel. So like, to me, that's the best way to get people onto your music as opposed to it being piggyback. Now, don't get me wrong. Piggyback can sometimes work. Don't get me wrong. However, I feel like it makes the artist more credible for building his own brand and building his own brand awareness. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Yeah.
So
I give you a round of applause for that, man. That's well stated. Like for real, for real, for real.
Appreciate it.
Kels.
So you started there.
Yeah.
You transcend to writing behind the scenes, then you put yourself to the forefront.
Yeah.
How did you run into this guy? Was it before the prison while or after?
No. So okay. So immediately after his first Grammy nomination, he and my brother are very, very close from the Bahamas. He goes to the Bahamas a lot. And I was visiting an island in the Bahamas that he was doing a show on. A DJ friend of mine, it was kind of like this guy who knows I'm a producer and this other guy, who's a promoter, they're with him and they call me and they're like, yo, we heard you on the island. We sitting here with Cure, and my brother had already wanted me to meet up with him. So we had kind of already heard about each other kind of thing. Of course, I knew who Cure was, but he had heard about me once or twice before, but we had never connected prior to this. So I went out and met them out. We had a couple of drinks, and I looked at him and I was like, yo, all right, nice to meet you, but I'm going back to the studio. You know what I'm saying? So I went on back to the studio. I got a call like 5 minutes later. Yo, Cure wants to come to the studio with you. And that was the beginning of our journey. When he got there, he heard, like, I played him like maybe 2 songs before he was like, all right, listen, I need you to come to Jamaica with me. And then I played him another song that's actually a song that's out now, by me, him, and Popcorn, called Life Is Real. So that's one of the first songs that he heard that he from me, because the song was already mine. But he was like, man, I need this song. So I let him sing the chorus over. And then, of course, we Popcorn, and I added my verse that was originally already there. So that's how that started with me and him.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Interject. Tell me, I'm actually going to make a statement. Tell me you have your documentations and so on together, because that's an issue with reggae artists.
I've worked in hip hop for over 10 years. I can promise you every documentation is good on my end.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Because like into your right for people, you can end up behind the scenes, get your royalty, your plans, and so on and so on. That's the thing with most.
I don't release. I have a person that manages, my publishing. I'm registered, as a publisher and as a writer, in more than one society. You know what I'm saying? I collect royalties in the U.S. I collect royalties worldwide, depending on the right society.
Good.
Yeah,
because I will pay Yamed artist daughter, so
right,
and that's no shade to nobody.
Straight up with you, bro. Right now, you guys, well, I'm not going to say you guys, but Jamaican artists, okay, in general. I just read an article about this maybe 3 or 4 days ago, where there's millions of dollars that the Jamaican Music Society, right, should be collecting for its artists worldwide. Take, for instance, how ASCAP would collect for their American artists. You have CSAC in Canada, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Jamaica has its own right society as well. However, the laws that's set in place in Jamaica have been so slow rolling that there's millions of dollars out there that has not been collected for artists. And there's a lack of registration on the artist's behalf.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I've learned a long time ago, brother, working in hip hop, that I too needed to make sure that my ducks were in a row. You know what I'm saying? Especially being a producer, you know, being a songwriter, you want to make sure that you are credited, even if they, because you know nowadays they don't put the writers on the song. They don't mention none of that, right?
Because everything is digital.
Exactly. So now, you know, I make sure before something even goes out of my studio, split sheets are handled. You know what I'm saying? We have agreements. You know, contracts are set in place. You know, where everybody is met at a fair deal. You know, and my songs are registered. Every single song is registered. I've done probably like 102 registrations for this year. So like I'm on my A game when it comes to that.
Salute.
Right. I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest problem I got with Jamaican artists.
Yeah.
And the Yame them do this.
I say Yame.
Yeah, because Yame if you do this. they make the song, right?
Right.
What?
Then get it.
Bro, what are you talking
Then
about,
get a
man?
producer, right? After then get a
Bro, I'm out,
producer,
man.
the producer get them my money, right?
Right.
Then sell the song to the producer. Know the song boss.
Right.
Right? And the producer make you notice it
All the money.
in a recession, you know, you're not you never hear one producer cry yet. You know who always a ball? The artist.
Right.
No, then sell it song to the producer, then vice and sell it to the producer. After then sell it to the producer, the song boss, and it can make millions of money, millions of money.
Yeah.
And then the artist say, oh, them are starve way and this is that and the third.
Okay, so let me speak on this for a second. Let me tell you what the issue is. There's too many instances where artists are approaching from a starving mind state. Okay? There's too many artists that approach this situation like they need this. Okay? So what happens is the producer goes to them and says, "Look, I want to voice you on this rhythm, right? I'm going to pay you, right, which is work for hire, right? If we're talking contract terms, right? That's work for hire, meaning that I don't got to give you nothing. But here's the thing. Legally speaking, they still should. If we're talking on legal terms, right? As far as royalties are concerned, the artist should still be labeled as a writer. Okay? The artist should still collect a performance royalty. But because a lot of these guys don't have their registration sorted out, even if it's with PRS, you know, in England, in the UK, which, you know, Jamaican artists can register with, right? Even if it's with these people, it's not feasible for the artist after the fact because they don't have no stuff registered. So, you know, at the end of the day, a producer pays out because the artist is desperate to get on, to get heard, to bust, right? And you know, they end up getting effed, you know what I'm saying? Because they were too desperate in the first place. I haven't received $1 for nothing that I've done rhythm wise for any producers. I don't want $1. I want everything that's supposed to come to me. You get what
as it should be. If it's spin, you should get paid.
Yeah.
But
you know what I'm saying? So that's how I work with everybody. Like, you know, unless it's an advance type of situation where you would receive an advance. You get what I'm saying? And the advance would be recouped, of course, after the royalty rates had been made. You know, whatever they paid you, you know what I'm saying? That would have been made back. So there's a difference in how they conduct business, but you have to learn the business to do that. You know, now if the artist was to say to these producers, look, all right, look, I'm going to take this money as an advancement.
All right.
Right? But whenever you've made that money back that you paid me, you're going to give me my royalty rate at what it should be.
Got you. But
let me ask you. Let me ask you this though.
Wait. Why did you decide? Well, Anjay, why did you decide to learn the business? Did you see the fuckery from far out, or?
Bro, I saw it a mile away, and I was signed to a label that was I had a partnership, and I was signed to the label that I had a partnership with, and they signed me to Cool and Dre in Miami, right? So I got stiffed on that one.
Okay. So you had no choice but to peak.
So that wasn't the first time. but the first time I got stiffed was a young artist out of Charlotte that signed a deal with Russell Simmons Music Group when he had RSMG in New York, right? And I did all this work for this artist. The artist bust, right? He about to blow up. Next thing you know, when the checks come, I'm outside of the check. You know, I'm not written in the checks. I don't get these checks, right? So I my first lesson then, and then of course my own signing. I learned after that. You know what? I need to go ahead and lawyer up. I need to go ahead and read these contracts. I need to go ahead and know exactly what I'm getting myself into, and I need to protect myself as an artist and as a writer. You know.
What year and who's that?
It was a young artist called Young S Dub out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Got you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
So, do you feel that half the time the life lessons and failure of an artist is the lack of education about business within the business? You feel like that's what it is?
I'll be straight up with you, bro. The music business is 99% business and 1% talent.
Okay.
Right? If you have a person that has that 1% of talent, but they have an amazing business model, or a team that has an amazing business model, they're going to win eventually. Right? We live in a world where the people who make the biggest deals are the people, of course, who win. The people who have the smartest business are the people who win in this business. You know, if you look at some of the successful reggae artists, for instance, their business is in order. Okay? And I'm speaking on, you know, the Marleys. I'm speaking on, you know, the Sean Pauls. Certain artists have their shit together.
You get but the reason you look back upon it, the biggest out of the talent with them Abayard, some of the biggest artists is Bob Marley, Shaggy, and Sean Paul.
Exactly. But if you notice, their business model is oddly similar. Why? Because they're doing this the way it should be done. You get what I'm saying? They have contracts. They doing split sheets. You know, when you're doing big songs with the people that these people, you know, are doing songs with Spring and you know, Sting and all these other people, my brother, you gotta have your business in order.
Yeah.
You have to. Because if you don't, these people are not going to do business with you. Universal's not going to do business with somebody that don't know how to conduct business.
True.
Right? So Freddie McGregor just signed a new publishing deal.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right? So this is somebody that understands the business. So when his son learned the business, his son now brings him in on now the publishing side of things, where they're actually going to be in control of his entire catalog. That's 60 years, over 30 albums of music.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of artists talk about, there's no unity in the dance. Artists can't work together. Me personally, in my opinion, that shit is all cap.
Right.
Why artists from the Caribbean don't collab more?
I think that egos play the biggest part of what's going on in the dancehall world. Ironically enough, you say that. If we look at back in the day, all the artists used to hang out, bro. They hang out with each other. These niggas used to party together, tour together, you know, be a couple of gals together. That was the thing to do. But as dancehall grew and bigger and bigger and bigger, the egos became bigger. Everybody wants to be the biggest. If you look at what happens in Jamaica culture right now, take for instance with dancehall, everybody wants to be the baddest of this time. You know, who is this, and you know, who is the baddest this. I personally, I'm not in competition with nobody but myself.
Another thing too much camp.
Right.
JOP, Gaza, Alliance, Unruly. You eat after day in a camp.
Right.
Too much different camp.
I feel like the camps are good, right?
Camps
But
bring
no,
separation.
camps there's always been camps, bro. Like even if you move it from the Jamaican scene and go to the forefront of hip hop, there's always been camps. The camps is an isolation of the talent that the artist puts on the forefront. That's not the issue. The issue is the unity and the collaboration within dancehall. You know what I say? One man I tell this man I go suck him mother, and then over here I say him vex this man. That's money left on the table.
Again, it plays into ego. You get
What?
one artist feels like he is better or better than the next one, and one artist feels like he's bigger or better than the next one. That's why there's no unity. If you got two melon head niggas in the same room, right, and like you call them yam heads, right, and both of them feel like they the best in the room, that's what's going to happen. Especially if they got 100 niggas behind them that's whispering Dixie in their ear. You feel me? So that's what's happening. You gonna have two guys clashing over some bullshit as opposed to trying to go get some money.
When me say Yamed, I maybe was clear up the Yamed thing. Yamed, I went they not no sense. Like then just run go sign anything, run go to this, run go to that.
Yeah.
Nah, no sense of business. Nah, not all.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
But at the same token, I'm glad I mentioned so them artists used to hang out.
Yeah.
But they're not doing that no more.
No.
So
no.
It remember back in ideas, right? How many artists you collaborate since you've been in the business?
In reggae?
Yeah.
Tons.
All right. No, if a man
But I will say this, but let me say a but before I finish. It's been more collaboration where I have been coming in as a producer or a songwriter.
Okay.
Right now that I am, out there, I've only been dropping reggae for a year now, right? So now that I'm dropping music, I've been, I'm getting requested, for collaborative efforts. Me and Chris Martin, me and Romain Virgo, we've talked about doing stuff. Me and Cecile, we're talking about doing music together. And I have some collaborative efforts that I have coming along, maybe with Richie Spice and a few other people, Yeah.
Everything nice. So let me ask you this.
Good.
What are the most difficult artists to work with so far?
Ooh.
Too much of them. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure.
You know what, man? Bro, I don't have them kind of problems in the studio, bro. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Like I'm a very demanding producer. Like when I'm working, like I get straight to it. I don't bullshit in the studio. You get what I'm saying? So the artists, I generally create a sense of comfort because I'm not just coming from a producer standpoint. I'm coming from an artist standpoint as well. But if I was to just go off the top, who might have been a little difficult, maybe TJ. And that was really only because he was distracted, by some other shit. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, we were cool. Like I fuck with TJ. That boy dope. You know what I'm saying? He's nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he tough.
But I don't have those issues like that in the lab, man. I'm a very demanding songwriter and producer. I demand the room, control of the room whenever I'm working.
This hold on. This are the thing me not like with artists, right? You see, when we did have Sting, which was one of the greatest thing we ever come out of Jamaica, better than Sunfest and all of them stuff there.
Right.
Sting was good, but Sting get to the point now where if an artist now, a real thing now.
Yeah.
You understand? It go from off the record, now it become more physical.
Right.
You understand? And then when you sing about the next artist now, basically the artists are beef now, and then the rest of people them in the group can't collab with the artist no more. So it causes separation in the music business. That's the point we try to make when it comes towards camps.
Right.
When too much camp there, it's when they did a solo by yourself. If all three as our friend and whatever camp represent, whatever, me can make tune with it two. But But when the camp them come in and people start beef, then it just cause conflict in the space.
Right. So I feel like, in a sense, the fans and the business and the artists kind of all acted like oxygen, fuel, and fire and spark. Right. It created a dangerous space for the music. I used to love watching clashes, bro. You know what I'm saying? I used to enjoy watching a clash, bro, and you could actually see, the enjoyment, um, you know, in the artists when they did clash, where they would still go about their business. Everything was cool at the end of it all. But I will tell you, I firmly believe that the cartel era kind of started a lot of this.
And the Movada era.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like once dancehall music started to go into a volatile space, things kind of changed. Don't get me wrong, we've always had, the typewriter type songs and but it was more about, you just being a gangster. It was not about, you had a problem with this nigga over here, so you about to go mop him out. You feel me? Like, I feel like that era of music kind of it fueled the fire. And the egos became even bigger then.
Yeah.
These guys' egos went through the roof.
Yeah.
And, you couldn't really blame them. They were at the top of their game when they were. But it became a little too much. And as we see, he became the victim of his own ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Which is why he's in the situation that he's in now. No disrespect to him, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I think he's an amazing artist. Too smart to be making such dumb decisions. But I feel like that situation, and the way that the cartel era music paved the way for what we're hearing now, in dancehall. You know what I'm saying? And this is why there's so much feud, going on. All artists are now, gangsters. All these niggas want to be duns, and they busting guns, and
everybody a bad man. Everybody a shatter.
Come on, man.
Yeah. And forget about the music thing.
Too much cap going on in the business.
Yeah. So you initially born in the Bahamas?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's so expensive, my youth.
I mean, no different from living in New York, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
No, my youth. I see him thing.
Right.
You go Bahamas. Yo, I'm gonna run your pocket.
The problem with the Bahamas, bro, is that everything is imported. Everything. Every single thing is imported. So there's import tax, there's VAT tax. So the people generally have to pay for all the taxation that goes on because nothing is created in the Bahamas.
So why you left your good Bahamas to come all America?
I was a bad boy in the Bahamas, man. I needed to get out of town for a minute,
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What artist would you want to collab with right now?
Oh man. Reggae wise?
Yeah.
Or dancehall?
I would probably want to do a dope vibe with Shensia, just to do it. Who else, man?
We got the artist here. That's it. You do a track with Diddy.
Yeah, him daddy.
Who that? Who?
Diddy.
Daddy.
Doing it.
P Diddy?
Doing it. Doing it. I ain't doing it.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fuck with him. He bad. Governor, I would do something with. Massacre, I would do something with. Me and Bugle have been talking.
Yeah, my artist.
Who else?
Bugle.
Busy signal possibility.
I produced a song for Busy recently.
And need to do a song with the cause the vibe, and then like the genius behind Busy.
We're talking about doing a record right now, but I
need
something for him.
So may I say?
Yeah.
Another thing, all right, Sunshine.
Yeah.
What inspired you to create such a powerful record because I'm listening to it. The cadence, lyrics within that, it touches you like you can relate to it.
You mind singing that if you don't mind?
A girl I used to rock with, man. You know, a girl I could say it without feeling no way, but my baby mother, at one point in my life, I felt a certain way about her, you know. So that song was done for her when I was still with her.
Broken hearts, man, create the best music.
Yeah. You mind singing a piece of that song there for me? Padrino?
Not really.
Really?
Ah, man, let's talk, man. We'll get to all of that stuff later.
Yo, Brenton, man sing for the man, man. Put some girl on the live and the man sing for you girls.
No. Man, I'm not telling stuff to thrill me. I go and say, if you mind sing a piece side. That's what me say.
The man got reggae in him, Brenton. The man said, no, Brenton. Nah, sing to no, man, Brenton. I'm tear my youth, yeah, get the man thing, my youth.
That's how I say, boss piece side.
Yo. You're gone too far, Bridget.
This guy right here.
You're gone too far, my youth. For the one that want to kill her.
We blood clot.
Level, my youth, level. So all the girls that might treat you in Miami, Padrino.
I mean, I ain't never had no problem with women, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right now, my vibe, I ain't even focused on them right now, bro. I'm gonna be straight up with you, brother. Like, I'm trying to get me some real money right now. You hear me? Like, I'm worried about bras. That's simple. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been one who that department. So I don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? They not even on my radar right now. I'm worried about some bread right now.
See?
Yeah,
Olivia says she want to hear you sing. I see him to me that says just boss a piece of song.
Pull up wherever I'm coming to the show or go buy the music.
Yo, the greatest way to support the artist is to subscribe to them and purchase their music. Therefore, they can get them royalties and so on and so forth.
Like, for real, if she really want to hear what I'm bringing, go listen to my music. Like, for real, go ride around in the car with your homegirls.
I'm gonna send you a link for your music.
Yeah, you know.
We're gonna play a little piece of music too. So man said it's
he really can sing.
Man thing different, but. The song that resonates with me by pretty much listening to it, and then the next one pretty much where all of you, right? Oh. Yeah, the video.
Yeah,
like I'm watching the video. Was that your daughter towards your daughter?
My little girl, yeah.
That's another powerful one, D.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So. Salute. That's my favorite so far. You know what I mean?
Music, bro, came from a real place. You know, anytime, you know, I'm going through something or my mind's in a state, you know, where I'm thinking about, you know, some lost love, or, you know, I do music that I feel is good for me. It's good therapy for me. You know what I'm saying? So I try to connect with my listener by it being good therapy for them. So I'm doing music for me that's therapy for me, in turn trying to make therapy for the listener. You know what I'm saying?
So when I think the best music come like from you, like when you get your art mash up, or when you're happy, or when you go through some shit?
I feel like trials and tribulations bring out the best of a good man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like man's back against the wall. You know, they you know, you will see the real character of a man when he's faced with trials and tribulations. You know what I mean? So I feel like whenever I'm going through rough times, or, you know, I got a rough state, you know, a situation going on, I use that to write music. That's my best way to deal with it, or, you know, as opposed to me going out and busting somebody's head open. You get what I'm saying? So the best of my music has come from me going through things, going through heartbreak, feeling a certain way about my daughter. Take, for instance, I always put my mind into a particular place when I'm writing music. It depends on what the music is making me feel at the time. That song about my daughter, when that first came around, I wrote a different song to that the first night I recorded it. And I went home to my little girl that night. So the last person I saw before I went back to the studio the next morning was my little girl. So, you know, that the connection was already there. I already knew what to do once I got in the car. I already knew what I was going to do when I got to the studio. So I use real life experiences and real life situations to do my music.
That's powerful, man. I used to. I mean, I still haven't touched. I haven't touched the studio in a minute, but I spit too, so I know exactly what it feels like to actually apply the emotion and be truthful within yourself as well. Because for some particular reason, the truth within you always put to the back versus the bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Them elevate the bullshit before them actually take the truth first. You know what I mean? But the truth will always prevail too.
Say that. It's a good thing you say that. And this is why none of my music has none of that superficial bullshit in it. Like if you listen to anything I've dropped in the last few years, I don't talk shit that I've never done. If I told somebody I, sold this and whoop the whoop and all that, I did that. You feel me? I don't say things that I've never done. I don't want to put my listener in that predicament where, I'm telling, lies and, in my music, man. I want people to connect with me for real. You know what I'm saying? When you listen to my music, I want you to connect with me for real. I want you to be like, damn, like I felt what that nigga said. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good thing to speak truth in your music, man. It's a good thing to create that emotional experience, you know what I'm saying, for your listener, bro. I feel like they remember you more when you sing it a certain way, when you sing with emotion and with that cadence, you know what I mean?
Right.
People tend to remember you more because you sound a certain way,
So which one did I really do in a real life still? Did I do the sunshine thing, or you did it really dip on the battlefield of Fight for Love and get your heart mash up? Which one?
All of that.
Yo, that's why Battlefield sounds the way it sounds, bro. Like
See,
you didn't hear it.
About it. Sunshine came out months before Battlefield, right?
Yeah, me know. But me say you did dip on the battlefield of Fight for Love.
Sunshine had been recorded from last year, right? Now I'm no longer with that particular person, hence Battlefield. You understand what I'm saying? So, and then I did another one called Right Here, that was done by Dynasty Productions. I got invited to do a song on that rhythm. Amazing song, dope song. But when I did that record, it was more about the vibe. It was like, okay, like I know how I wanna sound on this. I know what I want to portray or what I want to sing on this. You know what I mean? All of the picture, bro. All of it lays out a map, of what's in my mind and what's in my heart at the time.
Speaking of that, did you ever actually look at the name of your records and write that, like, picture? Nah, seriously, look at the titles of your songs.
Right.
There's a message within them, right? So as an artist, I took all of Biggie's titles and made a song. You ever think of doing something as such?
I've never thought of it, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, because I'm looking at your Sunshine, all of you, and Brighter Days. You know what I mean? Like you can put that in the sequence where it comes in the form of a lyrics, and you can display that as well.
I feel like that's dope.
That sounds unique.
That's the only 3 records you guys have. Y'all missing out, man.
No. You have a mix.
Battlefield. No. The thing is with a lot of these forums is like, say for instance, YouTube Music.
Right.
When you search for you on YouTube Music, right? They bring up 3 songs.
I don't release music on YouTube. That's why. So when I put out a video, my videos are the only thing that launches on YouTube. I don't put I don't upload music to YouTube. I only upload my music videos to YouTube.
No. YouTube Music, yeah, it falls in the same place as YouTube, but Google Music changed into YouTube Music because it's the same company.
No, but your distributor. Okay, so whenever you distribute music, you have an option to send music to YouTube Music, which I don't.
Okay.
I don't opt in for that option.
Oh, okay, so you go through more with like what Spotify, Tidal, who?
Right. So what I do is I channel all of my listeners. Take for instance, if you want to watch videos from me, you go to my Vivo or you go to my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah, but you have music that's up on YouTube. You have a playlist, Padrino music, and which producer you work with in Jamaica? A ZJ Chrome you work with?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have an album where you did a album for him, or you work with
Oh,
him?
I did a song. I did a song with him. Well, 2 songs. Battlefield was done by Chrome, and All for You was done by Chrome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, those the songs them that we know. So you make we know you have quite a few songs, but the
Right.
one them that will just make people see
Yeah. Yeah.
is
No.
"Stranger in My House," "Battlefield,"
Yeah. Yeah.
and "Sunshine," and a few more. But
Now,
yeah,
Brighter Days is dope too.
yeah. But my song, where when me listen to you, whatever Raquel said, me listen to it. But my song, when me find for myself, where if me I try to get my girl back for whatever a battlefield may I play it, and if she say anything, me say, yo, me not cute who you want think I say, me just know say that nigga yeah, he might talk for me. Yeah, what me say. Yeah,
Yo.
What
me
song is
say.
that, man?
Yeah.
What song is that?
Battlefield. You hear me
Yeah.
tell it? You hear me say?
Yeah.
You see sunshine, are you really there on a ground fight on the battlefield?
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Battlefield. I mean, if you think about it, bro, that's what love is for everybody, man. It ain't always just good times and and all that. Sometimes you gonna have the biggest ups and downs with the people you love, man.
Yeah, I three people me here make a song about the battlefield, you know.
Right.
Vibes Cartel say, them boy, they are pussy on the battlefield. Blah, blah,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. And then Pat Benatar say, love is a battlefield.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
may I catch on to your thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So,
so here's a question, big man. Given the fact that you're so knowledgeable on the business aspect of the industry, right?
Right.
If you can give advice to the upcoming generation in dancehall
Right.
and reggae music, what would your advice be?
My first thing I would say to them is focus on substance. Be yourself. Focus on the substance of your music. Be unique. Work with different producers that create different sounds. The sound that we're hearing in Jamaica right now and in dancehall is all saturated. It's all the same.
Yeah, go suck your mother, kill
Yeah.
bullet, bust your head.
What I'm speaking on is more or less even the types of instrumentation that's being used. The strings, the pianos, the same type of 808 with the same snare. And then it's a certain type of beat, a rhythm that's happening right now in dancehall, and it has been for some time now. But I would personally say, be unique, man. Be yourself, man. But stay away from the hype, man. Stay away from the bullshit hype. Work on some dope music, but handle your business, bro. Register yourself as a writer. When you get these contracts thrown in front of you, throw a lawyer in front of that contract. You know what I'm saying? When these producers and record companies, offer you some funds or some money, let them lawyer, a separate lawyer. You know what I'm saying? That can look over your legal documents and make sure that you're not signing your life away, because 9 times out of 10, you are signing your publishing rights and your life away. But there's tons of advice I can give, but what would be the right one? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, handle your business, and just do your thing as an artist, man. Continue to create. Don't become lazy or complacent.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So what's new? What's new for you?
So right now, we're in talks of touring next year for 2022. I have some new records that I'm about to put out in January. I've been working closely with amazing, legendary producer Peckings, out of the UK. Me and Johnny Wonder just spoke today. I already did a song with Johnny for this year. That's going to be released on Johnny's album. And now we talked again today about doing another record. So there's going to be just same amount of music, the same amount of gunshot I bust this year. I'm busting the same amount or more next year. That's the price. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Johnny Wonders. Me know about Johnny Wonders through Killer. You have tried to do anything with Killer?
Okay, so
I'm daddy.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story, man. My very first trip to Jamaica, very first time, was in 1997. I stayed in Seaview Gardens, bro. Soviet, to be exact. Scare Them crew was still around. Shaba's mom had a house in Vietnam across the train tracks. And a guy who drove me around, name was Bali. And he happened to be Killer's brother.
Bali.
Yeah. So the irony that I actually stayed in Seaview Gardens way back then and rode around with his brother. I would love to work with him, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't get a chance to meet him when I stayed there. And I was in Jamaica for 2 months around that time, but I was into some other shit. I wasn't into no music around that. But nah, I would love to do something with Killer, man. Killer's legendary, bro. You can't go. I worked with Elephant Man. Me and Elephant Man worked together last year. When I was in Jamaica in 2020, at the beginning of the pandemic. Well, before the pandemic had slammed everywhere, I had just left Jamaica in March. I was working with Diani and Elephant Man over there at Down Sound.
What was it like working with Ellie, the energy god? Them time in that bossy place, right?
That man different, man. He different. But he takes a while to warm up to, you know what I'm saying?
Shizzle.
Yeah.
But
a cool dude. Really, really cool dude. And the irony of all that is that I met him when I was there in Seaview, with him and Scare Them crew. I actually watched them boys play football on the soccer field.
Yo, Ellie probably don't remember this.
Huh?
Ellie probably don't remember this, but I opened for him when my boy did Pink and White. Shout out to Ricey. Ricey do Pink and White in Atlanta every year. So Elephant Man was one of the artists, and like I opened before he got there for him and shit like that. So
yeah, man, Ellie cool, man. I'm all right, bro. I ain't got no pressure with nobody, bro. I'm a dude, you know. I like to collaborate. I like to work with different artists. The thing is that I never stay in Jamaica for a long period of time, which if I did, I would probably have a lot more records with Jamaican artists, you know what I'm saying? But because I'm over here, I think it's more of a vibes, you know what I'm saying? Like when you over there, you know, when it comes to collaborating with Jamaican talent, it's more of a vibes and building a vibes and, you know, staying over there for some time. So that's the next plan that I have for next year too, is I might be in Jamaica for about 6 months next year.
So, a final question for you is, can I say one thing to the ladies? What did I say to them?
Man, I love y'all, man. I love y'all.
If you love a woman, them sing for them.
You know what I'm saying?
Sing for the girl, them if you love them.
That music though.
Yo, still I try. The one say, nah, sing for no man, Reggie.
Sing for the girl if you love the girl, them. Chill the girls, them. Me look the other way.
Yeah, the man say, nah, sing for no girl.
Go on, man.
Huh?
Go on, man.
Yo, so get him a piece and get him a sample.
A sample of what? Hello?
Oh, I'm gonna play.
Okay.
Man, play Love is a Battlefield, man. Play a Battlefield, man.
After the rain is falling, the sun's gonna shine again. So blessed I woke up this morning and opened my eyes again. I see that yesterday, and the storm won't last forever, yeah. It's gonna be a brighter day.
Yo, the kids, I see the kids going crazy for this, bro.
Yeah.
I introduce my sons to this.
Sun gon' shine again. Give me your hand, you falling. I'll help you stand again. I'll be your shoulder, girl. Let it all go in the wind. Oh, let it go in the dark. Let down all of your chest. Everything's gonna be alright. When we try again.
Yo, I don't want the man music.
Play Battlefield for me real quick.
A time for to support the artists.
Play Battlefield.
Time for support the artists.
Yes,
them.
Play Battlefield.
Regin.
Thanks. Just play.
Regin, listen, them want hear Battlefield, go buy the man music.
Oh, the man are violating.
Support the artists, them. Now, so the artists, them eat. You see it.
You will understand, but
So the man, them eat. You see me? Yo, listen. Listen. Here I go on, Regin. Don't bring up my blood twins are twins, but it's no.
Yo, just play a Battlefield.
Regin, no Battlefield now play. So if you don't want to hear the man music, the number one recommended tune you hear Kel say is Battlefield.
You guys have a link. You guys have a link for all the music and everything?
Huh?
What we have what up on YouTube we have, but whatever you have, just send and we
I'm gonna
listen to it.
Yeah, man. So y'all can get it,
Cause me, Regin, me go support and purchase the album. Just make me know. You see me, I said.
Yeah, man. No thing, man.
And cause my love support my own them, man. You see me, I said, guys, like each one teach one of them, and it's an elevation for bring more light to the artists, so people can get more familiar and more so America can recognize where them teeth half of them things from and sample half of them things from 90% of the time, but to acknowledge the man them and the man them great, you see.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. But nah, man, I'm gonna make sure and get the music to you guys, in a package in a zip folder, and get it out to you, man. No problem.
Hey, most definitely, King, and like manners and respect, and it's a pleasure, man.
Like and stranger in town.
Yeah,
definitely. That when you're typing the name on YouTube,
right?
That stand out.
Yeah, I got like 2 more records that's coming like that in January. I'm about to shock y'all for sure. Coming in January, for sure.
Quick question before you go. Mostly your stuff are mostly inspired from like the 90s coming up, I take it, right?
No, well, not just the 90s. Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. My catalog of music that I know spans at least 60, 70 years. I grew up on stuff like Duke Ellington and Ella Fitzgerald, and I'm inspired by not just 90s music, but music from the 50s, music from the 70s.
So do you go back as far as like we staying on the culture now? So do you go back as far as ska music?
Yeah.
Rubber dub?
Yeah.
And them tune, them tune there?
But so Sunshine, that record came from a Studio One original. That's where the idea came from. It was a Studio One concept. You know what I mean? We just took, some hip hop, gave it some hip hop drums, and you know what I'm saying, gave it a swing, and I just sang it in a rubber dub kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just want to make shit that feel good, bro, and that when people hear it, they're like, yo, I can vibe to that. I'm not worried about the hype of things, man. I just want to create, substantial music of substance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Feel it.
Yeah.
Yo, so here I got salute to the artists, and the artists I'm gonna talk to them about where they can find the music. You see me, I say. And next week come again is another interview where I said, yo, Kels.
Me didn't want to sing still, but me go with the tune on YouTube.
Yo, don't worry, I get him to do a plate, a dub plate for you. See, make something.
That's another thing, man. send me your info too, you know what I'm saying? So I can get y'all, you know, some drops and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for the podcast. It's soon as I said. And
All
right.
salute him.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
All right.
So tell them before you go where them can find your music.
You can find me on Apple Music. Just type in I Am Padrino. You can find me on iTunes, any listening platform, any streaming platform, you'll be able to find me on. You can find me on Instagram at I am Padrino. I am Padrino. On Facebook, Padrino Music Group. On YouTube, Padrino. Twitter, I am Padrino. Pretty much IamPadrino.com. You can find me anywhere. Just type in I am Padrino.
In other words, God Padrino, is it?
Yeah.
Yes, Padrino.
Yo,
Big in the Bahamas.
What'd you say?
I'm saying you're big in the Bahamas.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm a humble guy, man. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm definitely known in my country for sure.
Got you.
Definitely known in my country. You know, I'm trying to change that into the world now. You know what I mean?
Got you. Well,
And
before me go in bed tonight, I'm gonna listen to Battlefield. I'll rock out to that one there.
I'll buy them on the album, Bridget. And with that being said,
No problem with that. Yeah.
Big blood clot.
That's all right.
You know what I'm saying? Godspeed. I appreciate y'all having me tonight. You know what I'm saying? Y'all big up yourself, man. I appreciate everything. You know, your boys be blessed.
salute.
Thanks for coming
Manners
through.
and respect.
All right, brother. Be safe. Bless.
One done.